innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses work together and continue to build the future. Our expertise, talented workforce, and collaborative environment are making a difference now and shaping the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio to put your plans in motion. That's michiganbusiness.org/radio.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases, even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Steve, I got some news. Now, you know, you're a much more follower of music than I am, but
yes,
I was surprised to find out that Mike D from the Beastie Boys says that actually Beastie, the name, of course, of the Beastie Boys, Beastie, actually, he said on the Tonight Show last night that is an acronym.
You formed the group Beastie Boys, right?
Well, yeah, myself and Yauk and John Barry and Kate Schellenbach.
Okay,
that was the original.
And Beastie, it was called Beastie Boys because what does it stand for? Beastie.
It's right. I've only recently learned to say this properly because we had to do these shows. It's an acronym.
That's correct. Wow.
So I used to say an acronym, and then I was corrected like that's not actually a word.
An acronym could be a new.
Boys entering anarchistic states towards inner excellence. And yes, it was a stupid name. No, and here we are. We're supposed to be grown men, and it's still the name of the band.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I remember a long time ago hearing that.
Oh, I never heard that. So boys,
I thought it was just a joke.
Boys entering anachronistic states.
Anarchistic.
Oh, anarchistic states. To tie, I don't know.
Tie shoes.
I forget what the last three are.
Enjoy yourself.
He just told us. God, I'm getting old. My brain can't remember stuff.
I got to pull it back up now.
Boys entering.
Come on, you can do it, BJ.
What is it? Anarchistic states towards inner
excellence.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of pot might have been smoked back in the early days of the Beastie Boys.
Yeah. I feel like they came up with Beastie and then had to come up with the acronym. Okay.
We should come up with a cool acronym.
The acronym, not an acronym. God dang it.
Shut up, Uncle Chris. Don't even look at me.
We just did what he did. We made the same mistake Mike D made.
I need to pick up this book because it just seems like there's a lot of really cool nuggets of information about their history. Because I was just reading an article in Spin, and they were talking about the song Sabotage, which is obviously like one of their biggest songs. And they said that the song was a anti-authority anthem, but it wasn't about like any kind of big deal. It was about their recording engineer just annoying them.
Oh, and that was the anthem about just against one guy.
Yes.
That is so funny.
Apparently he was just bothering him during the recording process, and he was testing their patience, and they were testing his patience because they were just being indecisive, and finally they just kind of blew a fuse and decided to write that song. Which is so funny that became such a huge song for them.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people thought it had much more meaning than that.
Yeah, he says there was he would blow a fuse. He got pissed off at us and screamed that we just needed to finish something, anything, a song. And that's what they made.
Well, that's what you have when your boy's entering anarchistic states towards inner excellence. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you don't mess with that.
Yep.
That's so awesome. Oh, man. Well, so you going to get the book?
I need to. I don't read much, but maybe I should read this one.
You do read a lot of, you'll read rock books, like biographies and stuff.
I'm a fan of like biographies by musicians and wrestlers. That's about all I do. But this is right up my alley because it's about musicians.
Now, I don't know if you caught us yesterday, but we talked about how 91-year-old William Daniels, you know him as Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World, also the voice of Kit, the car in Knight Rider. We told you about how he stopped a burglary at his house over the weekend. Well, William talked to to Good Morning America yesterday about this, and he joked that he actually beat the guy up.
I struggled with an intruder, took him to the ground, I beat him up, and he ran away with bruises all over him. Would you like to print that? You better not, it's a total lie. We were asleep, and I heard bang, 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 and it was
very noisy.
I lit the light, and Bonnie screamed, and this person fled.
I think you scared him away.
Yes, I did.
I like his wife, or was it his girlfriend?
I think it's his wife. Yeah.
I can't remember. Did we talk about it? Okay, I don't remember. But
yeah, she's 89. I know whoever she is, she's 89.
It was the guy that was the 80, 90-year-old man who was doing the symbols with the band.
He has the girlfriend.
He has
so
the
this
girlfriend.
is his wife. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm losing track of the old men and their romantic endeavors.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Mr. Feeney's been happily married. Don't be putting those rumors out, as well as the rumors that he's beating up would-be burglars.
I like that he's trying to tell that story, and she's just laughing at him the whole time.
The whole time, yeah. Well, yeah, and he still sounds like Mr. Feeney to me.
He kind of does.
Yeah, he still's got that Mr. Feeney sound, and it's like, yeah, we took him to the ground. Yeah, that's perfect.
I hope that at 91 years old that you kind of are able to just fully, I don't know, you just think of someone at 91, they're going to sound really old and decrepit, and he sounds great. He sounds full of life.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you, Steve. At 91, I mean, look, a lot of men don't think they're going to get that far. Women live longer than us, so 91 is a good run.
Well, rumor has it he's a boy entering anarchistic states towards inner excellence.
That's why he's feeling really...
Yes.
Oh, that's why he's got the... Okay. Got to tell you about this mayor This mayor is accused of trying to trade sex for speed bumps. Yeah, Steve's going to tell you all about this. He's got the news for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well, he's no Pulitzer Prize winner. Hell, he can't even pronounce Pulitzer. This is News with Steve Miggs.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks to Colorado State University for giving us news and sports, and happy National Deep Fried Clams Day.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Deep fry those clams. Oddly enough, it's also World Vegan Day.
That is very bizarre.
They're going to be at war with each other.
Dude, fried clams are awesome.
All clams are awesome.
Yeah, there's a place in West Seattle. It's before Salty's. I don't know. It's like a little shack.
Clammies?
It's not. I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, Danny. I don't think you've been there, but I've been there one time. And
Clam Masters.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a restaurant. It's like I'll have to remember. But if anybody knows, great fried clams. Clamaroo. That's it.
Yeah, I don't even know. I drive by Salty's. I've seen it.
It's before Salty's, though, if you're on that on the road, too.
Like, once you get off the freeway, on your way to Salty's, it's before Salty's.
Yeah.
Is it Maono?
Maybe.
Maono's right there by the water taxi.
Yeah, I think so. I think that might be it.
They have good food. I've never tried their clams, though.
Yeah, I think you might be right, Danny.
Clam Daddies.
Clam Daddies. That's the name of it.
All right, let's talk about this guy who, he wanted a different type of clam in exchange for speed bumps.
Oh, my.
His name is David Stewart. He's the mayor of a town in Florida that's about 60 miles north of Miami. It's called Lantana. And he's in his mid-60s. He's been mayor for almost 20 years.
Wow.
So one of his constituents is a woman by the name of Catherine. And she's like, I don't know if she's like, but she wanted speed bumps in the neighborhood. She said, that would be nice. He said, sure, if you sleep with me.
Oh, wow. 20 years of this?
Yes. Well, I don't know if 20 years of him trying to sleep with her, but he's been a mayor for almost 20 years, and he decided, you know what, if you want those speed bumps, you're going to have to sleep with me. Here's the woman talking about it.
He pulled into this motel and got out of his van, and I just kept motioning, no, I'm not interested. When something like this happens, you have to stand up for what's right. I would like to see him step down. He needs to go.
Yeah. I mean, because I just don't think this is the first time.
No, yeah, I would imagine that might not be the first time. Well, here's the mayor responding to these allegations.
In the 18 years I've been mayor, there has never been a quid pro quo or anything asked for or given in favor of me voting in a special or a certain direction.
Did he say erection or direction?
Erection.
Oh, he said erection. Yeah, okay.
18 years as mayor.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're not looking good to me.
an odd thing to even ask for sex in exchange for, because I guess eventually the town voted to install the speed bumps anyway.
He wanted a speed hump for a speed
She
bump.
says that he threatened to have those speed bumps removed if she wouldn't have sex with him.
Oh, wow.
And he called her again, saying the offer was still on the table. He's denying, of course, all of this, like we mentioned, but now an ethics panel is investigating.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
Happy deep-fried clams, eh?
Yeah, really. Man.
In Oregon, they had a little bit of a situation with a bunch of pumpkin smashers. Obviously, yesterday was Halloween. And there are people out there, I've been guilty of it as a kid, where you would grab some pumpkin, smash it on the ground, and run off, and it was hilarious.
So why is this such a big deal in Oregon?
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to be a pumpkin smasher, don't use the pumpkins to smash them through the windshield or windows of cars.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah,
That's,
these two 19-year-olds, they got arrested because, well, that's what they were doing. They were taking pumpkins from outdoor supermarket displays and then hurl them through car windows.
Yeah, that's
going one step too far.
Yeah, guys, come on.
I mean, we used to egg cars.
Yeah,
because looking back on it, awfully stupid. But
that's stupid too, but at least you're not blowing out the window with the eggs.
Or you used to have like egg wars where you throw the eggs at each other and then you had the shaving cream. Remember that?
See, that's better because the only people getting hurt are you.
Right.
Yeah.
And your friends. Well, anyways, they caused about $30,000 worth of damages, and they're idiots because it was easy to find these guys because they were carrying out the vandalism in an easily recognizable gold Buick with a large dent in the side.
Well, these guys are just 19, geniuses.
19 and stupid.
Yeah, a fact.
Living in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Okay.
Bummer news, man. Seahawks, just the legacy of the Seahawks have taken a couple blows, obviously with Paul Allen just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And yesterday news came out that Jack Patera, the Seahawks' original head coach, he died at the age of 85. He died from pancreatic cancer. He's the man who coached them in their expansion year of 1976 to a 2-12 record, but still got a couple wins in your expansion. Back in those days, especially.
Yeah, to be able an expansion team to get wins is a good thing.
He also was able to have their first winning season in 1978 with a record of 9-7. He's been living in Cle Elum and unfortunately passed away because of pancreatic cancer. I keep forgetting this. As a wrestling fan, there's a guy by the name of Ken Patera, who was the world's strongest man. He was actually an Olympian, but then became a wrestler, and I grew up watching him. They're brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jack, I believe, is his older brother. And so Ken's still living. He's in the Oregon area. Just a bummer to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, at 81 years old, of course, you wonder about anybody once they get past 80, and also pancreatic cancer is just it's a beating.
And 85.
Oh, 85. Mm-hmm. Well, good for him, man. You live to 85, do what he did, and, really the first coach we had, that's a good life.
Willie McCovey, you probably remember him.
Oh, Willie McCovey, great play. Yeah, that was big news yesterday.
Yeah, Hall of Famer with the San Francisco Giants. Yeah. And he passed away at the age of 80.
I know, man. Again, though, another great life. Willie, one of the most notable players I remember growing up.
And they say, he's still been going to their games, supporting the team up until last season. He's always there watching the games and rooting the team on. They plan to have a big public celebration of his life some point in a later date. As far as weather, football tonight. You can watch a real battle.
Got a barn burner?
Oh, yeah. We're going to find out which team will have their second win of the season.
Yeah.
Unless they tie. You got the Oakland Raiders with a 1-6 record taking on the San Francisco 49ers with a 1-7 record.
It's the Battle of the Bay.
Right?
That nobody cares about.
Thursday night football. As far as weather, 59 degrees, and thank you, Shane Company, for giving us news and sports.
I didn't realize this. I didn't know that Mike Myers is going to be in the Queen movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I saw that there was a clip this morning saying that he plays a character in the movie.
That's kind of fun just because of the fact that Bohemian Rhapsody was a big part of Wayne's World.
And in my opinion, I don't know if you would disagree or agree, but I feel like that put that song on the map.
I agree.
Again, with a whole new generation.
I totally agree with you. I knew it, of course, growing up with Queen, but I think that the huge popularity of it, again, and maybe even more popularity than it ever had, was because of Wayne's World, yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Queen growing up and had no idea I didn't even know the song until watching Wayne's World, and then I fell in love with the song because it's such an iconic scene of all of them in the car just banging their heads, having a blast. And then I discovered the other music of Queen because of that.
And of course the movie is called Bohemian Rhapsody, and Mike Myers is going to be playing Queen's manager in the film, and he was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert promoting the whole thing because it's coming out this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And
not getting good reviews though.
No?
No, I mean, they say it's okay. That seems to be the overlying theme. It's like, it's all right, but we expected more. A lot of people were saying that Rami
Malek
did a great job playing Freddie Mercury.
Well, that's all I care about then.
The movie sucks, but he's good.
I do, because I really like him as an actor. Yeah. And and I've only known him. I've seen it. He's been in some other stuff, but I only know him from Mr. Robot. So I was hoping that, because Freddie Mercury is a whole different character than the dude he plays on that Mr. Robot show.
Yep.
So I was wondering, okay, let's see how Rami does. So I'm happy to hear that he's good in the movie.
Every review that I've read hasn't said the best things about the film itself, but it seems like the one, silver lining is the fact that he did a great performance as Freddie Mercury.
Well, I hope Mike doesn't bring the movie down.
I bet he did.
And he was on Colbert last night sharing a great story about how the song Bohemian Rhapsody was almost not used in Wayne's World.
Bohemian Rhapsody came on, and my brother pulled over, and then from that moment on, each of us had a Galileo, If you took somebody's Galileo, you got beat up, basically.
Oh, you were assigned one of the 4 Galileos.
Yeah, and then I had a chance to write and be in a movie, Wayne's World, and I was like, oh my God, I would love that to be the song. And the studio went, no. And I was like, what do you mean no? And then they said, we want Guns N' Roses, who I love, but it wasn't something I grew up with. So I really fought hard for that to be the song. Because I went, I don't want to be in the movie if that's it. And Lorne Michaels was like, let me get this straight. You've never been in a movie. You're not likely to be in a movie. And now you're not going to be in a movie.
I love that impression of Lorne Michaels, because I feel like that might be consistent with what I've heard about Lorne when you got these dudes who, he basically brings on Saturday Night Live, and here's Mike Myers going, you know what? I don't think I want to do it. And Lorne goes, really? You're a nobody. You'll probably end up being a nobody. Really?
But I mean, you have to, as Lorne Michaels, you got to look at the guy and go, if he's that hell bent on wanting that song, maybe I should acquiesce.
Well, I'll tell you, man, this is what's so awesome about creators and what's not so awesome about money people. The money people don't know how much they don't know, because think about how bad that would have been. Guns N' Roses is a great band, but there's no way that movie, that song was perfect for the goofiness of that movie.
For that scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We say that, but we don't know. Maybe a Guns N' Roses song would have worked great right there.
I just can't imagine any GNR song just having that goofiness. You know what I mean? It was
sure.
It's GNR, great stuff, but there's a goofiness to that scene and to Bohemian Rhapsody that just makes it so awesome.
Because the song in itself is very ridiculous. It's a great song, but it's super ridiculous. So you're right. I mean, I always wonder about that, because we're always like, what if this actor actually? You always hear those stories about actors turning down roles. I can't even imagine this movie with that actor. Well, of course we can't, because that's all we know. But maybe it would be fine. But I'm leaning towards what you're saying, in that I don't think we would have the same kind of memory of that moment, of that scene. I don't think that scene would have been as iconic if it was anything else.
Yeah, sometimes the mashups you don't think are going to be awesome. Like for the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, when they said they were going to use a 70s soundtrack, they were like, what? This is a big-time sci-fi movie. You want to go use 70s music, but, the director was like, dude, I'm telling you, this will be awesome. It'll ground the movie, because it's so wavy blank out there with a talking raccoon and a talking tree, and all the weirdness in space. What made the movie cool for a lot of people was that music grounded them and made you all feel like, all right, this Peter Quill guy, this is Earth for me, I get it, while all the other... And it really worked, and I think any other soundtrack besides all that goofy 70s music would have just not made the movie what it was.
I wonder what Guns N' Roses song they would have worked with. I'm trying to find out, and it doesn't say at any point in any interviews that when he's talked about this, he's never specified if it would be something like Welcome to the Jungle or Paradise City. I would bet like Paradise City, because of the high-pitched thing.
Yeah.
I can maybe see that.
That for a sing-along, see, I'm trying to think and yet for a rock-along as you're driving, I think, oh man, driving, there's just nothing better than the intro to Sweet Child of Mine, just to get me in the mood, like, oh yeah! So, but it still doesn't have the same effect as Bohemian Rhapsody with that operatic, if you will, silliness of it all.
It's so crazy, because I'm reading an article about Bohemian Rhapsody shot to number 2 on the charts around that time, 15 years after its original release, all because of Wayne's World.
Yeah, and see, Stephen, you're absolutely right. I don't know if it would ever have the popularity it would have if not for Wayne's World. I mean, it's a good tune, and even in the 70s, some of us were shaking our head because you just didn't hear that kind of music. You've got the Aerosmith Smiths and all that out there, and you've got then all of a sudden this operatic band. You're like, what is this? You got Pink Floyd. You got all that stuff of the time period, and you're like, okay, what is this song?
Somebody said they said the Queen movie is on par with the Def Leppard VH1 movie. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw the VH1 Def Leppard movie.
I did not, but
it's awful.
I mean,
it's so bad, especially the scene where Rick Allen loses his arm.
No,
the way they handled that was one of the most. It was so bad. It was comical. Because his arm's just missing, but you could kind of tell like the guy is just kind of holding his arm behind his arm.
Oh, that's not good.
And they have like really bad special effects on the arm to make it look like it's gone.
Oh, that's so bad.
Terrible. And I was so excited because I'm just thinking, this is such a great story. The Def Leppard story is pretty insane. And boy, did they turn it into just a mess.
Yeah, when you do a movie released straight to like any network like that.
What are you talking about? Straight to VH1?
Yeah, I mean,
that's almost as good as being in the movie theater.
You're right. I mean, who would ever think that would be a bad movie?
You were talking about it like just all the bad effects and stuff, and I was expecting it to be like an 80s or a 90s movie. It came out in 2001.
Yeah, it came out the height of all the behind the musics.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And I think they made it because of the behind the music on Def Leppard was just so whoa.
Yeah.
So they made this movie, and it was heavily promoted. It was a big deal. It was like a VH1 movie.
All you got to do is watch it. It doesn't have to be good. That's their whole point was just to get you to watch it.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, let's capitalize on the hype. Let's just throw this stuff out there. Oh, that's a bummer if they're comparing that to the new Bohemian Rhapsody movie coming out Friday about Queen. That's not good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, still to see Rami Malek's performance of Freddie Mercury, which I think that would be worth it, but maybe people going to wait to do it on demand.
I might wait till it's available on Showtime.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're going to go even that far.
Yeah, I might be real patient with this one.
Yeah, I can't blame you.
Rotten Tomatoes has 143 reviews so far.
And?
57%.
Oh, that's not horrible.
That's better than most movies I watch.
It's just below fresh.
Does it have user rating? Oh, probably not, because there's...
96% want to see it.
All right, I expected this one the way I was thinking. I thought it would be like in the 30s, but 57%. I got to be thinking it depends. If you're a diehard Queen fan, you may not like the rendition, but I mean, 57% is still worth seeing a movie, especially if you like the genre of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Another movie that I heard compared to was Jersey Boys, the film adaptation of Jersey Boys.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, and
fantastic film.
I looked up that tomato, and that was 53%.
I'm kidding. That was really bad.
Well,
oh
no,
it was just like
you
sounded like you really did like it.
I loved
I was being a Weisenheimer.
Oh boy, that's not good then.
I never thought I'd ever say this. I like the play better than the movie. But I did. The play was the play for Jersey Boys is really good.
A lot of times the movies that are based on those plays are just not nearly as good because the live music that you get in those plays and the live performance, you do, Steve, it's not surprising. You're right there and you can feel the energy of a live performance, and movies just sometimes don't do it that good.
Yeah, that was just not a good movie.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Well, all right, fingers crossed for Bohemian Rhapsody, but yeah. All right.
But
yeah, what are you going to do?
But I mean, we're basing it on critics. I'm kind of curious to see what the users will say about this.
Yeah, you're right. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
Beginning with D, what word describes a period of 10 years?
Decade. Yes. You really you disappointed me.
Why?
Beginning with D, and there's no D's nuts. I mean, come on, buddy.
That's a good point.
Yeah, man, really?
D's nuts.
There you go. You want a shot at beating Steve? Yeah, you got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I owe a lot of back taxes. Can bankruptcy help me?
Bankruptcy can discharge back taxes under certain circumstances. Some types of taxes are never dischargeable, like if you have taxes from an employee, if you ran a business and didn't pay employee taxes or sales taxes. Those types of taxes cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. However, most people don't have those kind of taxes. Most people have just regular income taxes. If you owe income taxes and you filed your tax returns but just weren't able to pay the taxes, if the taxes are more than 3 years old and you filed the tax returns, those types of taxes can be discharged in bankruptcy in most circumstances, especially through a Chapter 13 case.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses continue to work together to make a difference now and shape the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio.